Have you ever been on a job where the service user or the patient or end user, like client, whatever it is that you call the person who uses your service, looks at you, it just gives you that look, like, oh my gosh, you again, or like, oh gosh, like, and that look in that moment, for that split second, you see that, you now go into your confidence just drops. Yeah. And this is the thing, it has nothing, nothing has gone wrong yet. Yeah, it's just your body is already like panicking of like what's to come. And then the spiral happens. And then the panic and all those things starts like falling in place. Those internal panic starts happening, like, oh my gosh, okay. Do I know what's going on? Like what are so this is me a couple of weeks days ago, where I went in to do this booking. Again, it was a medical booking. They don't really tell you where you're going. Sometimes you would know what with the department address and all that, but this one's more like a general practitioner's office, so you don't know what you're going to see. And this is a person who's been transferred, who's been an assessment, and they were using a combination of oral sign supported English and British Sign Language. And it was just modeled up. And there was a phrase they used or explaining, they did a sign, which I'm like, what were you trying to, like, what's that? I wasn't getting it. So they finger spelled it because what they were finger spelling, what it turned out to be, there wasn't like an official sign for that yet. So they did something. And because I wasn't getting their sign, it was like, oh, like, like, and in that moment, I just went like, you've already got your paper and pen. Like you could already see they were defensive or they were agitated or like they've already had maybe a bad experience before. And then now Nene's like not getting them. So they had to like write down. So just like, if you want to write it down, because that's one of my coping mechanisms, like is like I'll just like either while they're finger spelling, I'll write it down and I'll just show the clinician and then they can figure out what it is, or once I've written down, my brain would then clock and I'll be able to say what it is. But they already had paper and pen, so they kind of like wrote it down and everything. And I didn't have my reading glasses on. So the what do you call it? Clinician saw the word and like said it and all this kind of thing. So the next line was, "What's your name?" I said my name and then wrote down. That would have taken me to another secondary panic. Like, oh my gosh, the self-doubt would now be in heightened states. Like, oh my goodness, they will be creeping in and be like, oh my gosh, now does she want to go make an official complaint or like what's the deal going on? And all like I was just thinking about my old me. What would my old me would have done in that state? I would have gone be like maybe like I'll be like neutral out there, but inside I'm like, going because of the self-doubt that was going on there. And then the story, then the old me would have been like, old story activated of, oh my goodness, Nene, you're not good enough here. Like, oh my goodness, like you should know this stuff. What she felt, you should have like clocked what she's trying to say. She'll think you're incompetent. Like that will be the chatter that will be running in my head, going like thinking about what's going on in that situation. And that's kind of like what we'll be playing. And this is where like interpreters will start losing their belief in themselves quietly. Because I've been there. You start the doubts will so be heightened. The nervous system is on high alert. You're like really agitated in that moment. That this is where the fork in the ground comes in place. This is where you now know someone who is anchored in their identity and the person who's not. Okay, now let's see what two parts that could have come out from this. Using the old me, how the old me would have reacted, and the new, like how I reacted, right? In that moment, because of like how like she wrote the thing down, she was using a combination, she was trying to sign something that didn't have a sign per se, and she like all that over finger spelling. I would have been like, okay, trying to figure out like get it, get it, get it. Then her like, okay, let's resort to writing it down. Like over apologizing. Oh, sorry. Can you spell it again? Like that would have been happening. and then I'll start losing flow in like what's being said will now start being disjointed because I'm there thinking about, okay, what's that? And then with them saying, what's your name, would have even taken me to my nervous system then would then be on hijack. Like, okay, we're in trouble now. Like, what's going on? Even though I'm there, inside is like, oh, the tension, the like everywhere would have been going on. So that's one part that if we do not have this handled, that's what could happen. And then if you're regulated, if your nervous system is in like on check, when that happened, when she's like, oh yeah, okay, didn't get it, write it down. Oh, what's your name? It was just like pause. You don't have to be like dramatic, just like sign of like pause in that moment. That breaks the pattern, like knocks it out. Like, okay, fine. We neutralize like the practice enough and adjust ourselves. Like, okay, we didn't get that next. We'll figure out we'll catch up. We'll figure this thing out. We've got this. It's a moment. It's not like the sentence. It's just like, okay, I don't get it. Like, we're human. We're not going to understand everyone, whatever it is. So when you're anchored in yourself in that way, with that pause and that reassurance by self-talking to yourself in that moment or doing something that anchors you, like, we've got this. Okay, let's move on. That way, your identity is not collapsing. Who you are is not collapsing. You're then able to then move on from there than panicking and then becomes, oh, now I don't understand the next one. Okay, what's good? But now it's like, oh no, let's reset. Okay, we've got you. And then come on. Because the job didn't get worse. It was the body that was like just needed that reassurance. Whereas in the first part of like where the nervous system was hijacked, it was just heightened Whereas with the second part, when that happened, just reassure the self, like, oh, we've got this. Let's go on, move on. Like, yeah, it's okay. It's just her safety. She just wants to know who she's dealing with. That's fine. It does not mean anything yet. It's okay. Let's keep going. Let's showcase ourselves. Let's move on. That's how, like, two ways. It's again, how we handle ourselves in that moment will determine how we spiral or we don't, how we move forward, and how we kind of like negate what's going on. Then when we now like in that moment and you're like, oh, okay, I don't, or like, yeah, okay, next we got this, still composed, still aligned, still moving on, showing that yes, you're there. Because that's where you're then able to be anchored in self, saying those things that would support, like, being saying, you know what, do you mind writing it down so we can make sure we get the exact thing so that we then know, fine, you stay present, you stayed anchored, and you keep your identity intact, than having that wobble moment in that space. Because it wasn't that I was failing in that moment. It was just me interpreting responsibility. It's just like in that moment, like at that time, I didn't catch that. I didn't like, okay, things were not, I'm human and it's okay. It's how you handle it afterwards than going deep down to confident losing to like, okay, let's catch ourselves back again. Let's re-anchor. Let's keep going. Let's do the thing that is needed to keep it going. Because at the end of the day, confidence was never being questioned here. It wasn't about the confidence of like our ability or our skill that was there. It was more the confidence was collapsing who we were at the time. Our nervous system safety was jacked. And whereas we now went into the like did the thing that would make us safe and then showcase us that allow the skill to then show up in that moment of like self-talking, in that moment of like pattern interrupt, that then allowed the skill to show up than being in the part A where when that happened and I go dive deep again, the skill was not able to show because I was now, or part A would then be of me going downhill of, oh my gosh, oh, did I like, oh, now she wants my name, like, blah, 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 we're going downhill. We're not able to showcase our skill in that scenario. But when we can then come back, get it back, reset, pause, pattern interrupt ourselves, self-talk ourselves, do the thing, next. Oh, okay, it's a moment. We're able to then carry back on and showcase our skill to then move on. And in that way, all our nervous system needed in that moment was just support. It just needed be, to feel safe. And once he felt safe, we went back in and the skills was able to showcase itself and then the appointment went in. Whereas if the nervous system is hijacked and feels unsupported, doesn't feel safe, the alarm bells goes, wow, 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 like, oh my gosh, we need out here. This is just going to make things worse for us and blah, blah, blah. And then we go downhill. So that's kind of like where those two parts kind of like leans in. And if you ever had a moment where, on a job where and you just thought, oh my goodness, and you felt like, oh my, I don't know what to do. You are not alone in that situation. And it does not mean that you are bad at what you do. That's the key thing I want us to understand. In that moment, does not define you as in what you do. So what I would love for you to do right now is in the comment section, like, what is that one reaction that someone would throw at you that would just throw you off your job? Like if there's a face that that person does or how they respond or comments that would be like, that would just like throw you off. Well, what's that thing for you that would make that happen? And remember that your voice matters and is your time to use it. Till tomorrow, bye for now.